10 things I don't like about this BMW i3s. Number 1, it has a start button. In my opinion, EVs should not be required to have a start button. It's fine that it's there, but the car should turn off by itself and on by itself when you enter the car and press the brake pedal. The Tesla does it, the Taycan does it, the ID Buzz does it, the Polestar does it, the Volvo EV does it, but the BMW i3, which is so far ahead in so many aspects, still has a required start-stop button to start the car. I wish it didn't have that, because it's just an extra step when you enter the car. It's fine to have an optional one if you want to keep the car on or stuff like that, but our required press on the start-stop button is just a necessary step in my opinion. By the way, there is a super frustrating thing with this car, and I'll show you once we get down the list. The second thing is that it's in the same area that the start-stop thing. It's the non-EV design decisions of this car, and that's that you can't set a charge limit. You can set a charge limit to 80% in this car. And you might think that, okay, but they added a large buffer above 100%, where so 100% is probably more like 90% or something in this car. But that doesn't matter to me. I want the ability to set the charge limit that I want. I want to be able to set it to 50%, 40% for long-term storage. I want to be able to set it to 80% daily, just to increase the buffer a little bit. If I don't need the range, why use it? So yeah, I understand that it's to be beginner friendly. It's the way the BMW i3 is designed to have a large buffer, but I still want the ability to set a charge limit, and I wish it did have that ability. Number 3 is super annoying. You can't pause the music from the steering wheel, and you can't pause the music easily regardless. So you can't pause the music from the steering wheel. You can adjust the volume. You can adjust the volume with a knob here. I prefer all controls to be on the steering wheel, just like the Tesla does it. You can't pause the music from the steering wheel, and it's super, super, super annoying. I want to be able to pause the music from the steering wheel. Once I get through the drive-through or toll booth or anything, I want to stop the music now. I don't want to reach over to the instrument cluster in the middle here. I want to do it from the steering wheel. And I know this is a common thing to not have on BMWs, but yeah, BMW, add a pause button on the steering wheel for music. The fourth thing is the low charging limit. It's capped at an artificial 50 kilowatts, and you will probably get more like 44, 45 kilowatts. And I know this is to protect the battery, and I know this is due to the older battery tech that is in this car, and a combination of that just gives you 50 kilowatt. 50 kilowatt may sound small, but it's a very small battery as well, so it doesn't matter that much. But I would think that they could have upgraded it to around 100 kilowatts. And if this car had a maximum charging limit of 100 kilowatts, it would be much better on road trips than now when it's just 50 kilowatts. The fifth thing is the charge port. BMW has actually designed a very nice charge port plugs that just flips out on the iX and modern BMW EVs. This one has the old flops. They just flop out and they get into the paint of the car. They suck, and I am considering just cutting them off. Yeah, I really prefer none or the BMW design that they use on their modern EVs. And I wish they could incorporate that into the BMW in the later years as well, but they never did. The next thing, the sixth issue with this car is all the alerts. This car will pling at you if it's bad weather. It'll pling at you if you just leave the car with it on. It's just like any other car really, but I'm very used to sitting in a Tesla and it's dead silent. It doesn't beep at me for just about anything. and it gives alerts for everything. It even gives error codes sometimes, but from what I've read, it is just normal for BMWs to, for example, if the charger stops charging the car, it'll say chartboard error, alert, alert, red here, but it's just that the charger stopped charging. So it scares me. The car scares me for no reason. Really, just it should have less alerts. The seventh issue with this car, we are soon at the super annoying one that everyone talks about, but the seventh issue with this car is that it's light. And that was a pro in my other video. That was a pro, but now it's a con. And why? Well, in Western Norway it's very windy, and when you're driving you can feel the car just flopping around in the wind. It's kind of scary, to be honest, but yeah, not a major issue, but something to note. It will flop around a little bit in the wind compared to competing electric cars that are heavier. The eighth issue with this car is that it's a four-seater. Competing cars are usually five-seaters, so we have one less space. Do you really use 5 seats all the time? I don't. I can't think of anyone other that actually use 5 seats in a 5-seater car all the time. Or any time, really. I don't think I've ever had 5 people in my Tesla, maybe once. But this car is a 4-seater, and competing EVs like the e-Golf and the Leafs are both 5-seaters. The ninth issue is the range. And for me it's good enough, but it's 280 kilometers VLTP, and this car could have been so much more. BMW could have put a larger battery in it. They've actually done that 3 times already, but even so, at 42 kilowatt hours, which is the battery size in this one, it's not far enough, especially considering the charging rate. I wish they continued to develop this car. They could have done so much more. Even a little bit larger battery, a little bit update to the design for aerodynamics, and this could be a killer EV due to the lightness and everything. And the 10th and final issue is the suicide doors. They suck. That's the only way to put it. They suck. And why do they suck? They give you a large space for entry once both doors are open, but not having the ability to have only the rear door open is kind of annoying. And not only that, if you are in a parking garage between 2 cars and you are trying to get out of the rear seat, you have to open this front door, which is large, and then it's impossible to get out in a parking garage when you are parked close to other cars. That was my 10 issues or 10 things I don't like about the BMW i3s. I hope you liked to watch the video. Please leave in the comments if you have any tests you want me to do with this car. I'm already planning a lot with this car, and overall I'm very happy with it. Of course, the 10 things I like and the 10 things I dislike, it's usually just to give you a perspective of what you can expect and what you care about, and then you can decide for yourself. Maybe you don't care about the charging rate. The charging rate it doesn't matter at all for home charging, for example. And if you only use it for home charging, that doesn't matter, right? So you just look at the issues that I have proposed here, and then you can see for yourself, oh, this applies to me, this doesn't apply to me, and then weigh up. Overall, fantastic EV, fantastic purchase, fantastic price, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. Again, leave a comment. Even if you don't decide to subscribe, leave a comment. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos like this and videos that are not like this, you can subscribe to this channel. I see a lot of people that watch my videos that don't subscribe, so please leave any feedback in the comments and I'll try to improve.